Hi students, the topic for today is implementing file system. So we know about file system already. So the files are mainly used for storage purpose. We can able to store the content, any type of content, audio, video, word file, document, everything in the file. So how the files are stored into the disk storage, how it is managed is called as implementation of file system. So this is the file system structure. The files are stored into the logical storage unit. Collection of all informations or relevant informations are stored into a continuous disk space that is in the secondary storage. So each contents are stored as a number of blocks or sectors. So this sectors or blocks are managed with the support of file control block and the layered system of file architecture. This is the layered file system. Initially, application program, which means whatever applications we are accessing. So over that logical file system, this application files are having a logical file system, then file organization, basic file system, IO control, and this files are controlled by the IO devices. Okay, so this is the architecture for layered file system. Then this is the file control blocks. Okay, so initially, what are the permissions provided to the file? We already know files are having a read write permission, only write permission. It can be protected. Okay, so initially file permission, then file dates. Date means when the file is created, when it is accessed, when it is overwritten. These details are included in the file dates and who is the owner of the file, whether it is a single file or a shared file, then size of the file, after that where it is stored, that is denoted or marked with the support of file pointer. Okay, so this is the architecture for file control block FCB. This FCB is having five components or five details. And allocation methods, how the files are allocated in the disk space. Totally three kinds of allocation strategies are applied in this file allocation, disk storage. First one is contiguous allocation, linked allocation, and indexed allocation. Contiguous allocation. So contiguous means we know the meaning continuous. Okay, so the files are stored into a continuous set of blocks. So if I want to save a file, we need continuous free blocks, then only we can able to store that file. That is the drawback of this contiguous file allocation. So we need the set of free spaces to accommodate a file. But in indexing, to manage the file, only a starting location is enough to map the file. So this is the architecture used for continuous allocation. So here the set of file names given, file, count, tr, these are file names. So its starting location is 0 and the length of the file is 2. So here this is the disk space structure, 0 to 31 mentioned. The first file is count, it starts at 0 and its length is 2. Okay, so two spaces are occupied. Like this, each file is occupying a continuous spaces based upon its mentioned length. Okay, so if I want to store a file, I need a continuous free space. That was the drawback, and this is the architecture of contiguous allocation of disk space. And the second one is linked allocation. Okay, so which means each file is having a linked list of disk blocks. So that linked list is having a pointer where this file is stored. Okay, or else we can say that this is the architecture. No need of continuous free spaces to store the file. Okay, so here the directory can choose any number of free spaces. Okay, so the directory is having only the file name, starting and the ending. Okay, so where this file is started in the ninth block. Okay, so from ninth block to 16, 16 to 1, 1 to 2, and 25th. 25th is the end of the block or file which is stored. Okay, so here if I want to store any one file, I doesn't need a continuous free space. The free spaces can be scattered anywhere. The directory or the operating system is choosing a scattered free spaces, and it will allocate the free spaces with the support of this linked allocation. Okay, and the next is indexed allocation. So here the directory is maintaining on index like our textbook index pages. Okay, so each file has its index block of pointer to its data block. Okay, so this is in a logical view of index table, and this is the architecture. So here the directory is having the file name G, its index block is 9, which means the first space where the file is stored. So this is the index block. So this 19 is having what are all the free spaces a particular file occupied to store. Okay, so a file zip is allocated into the spaces 9, 16, 1, 10, it goes on. Okay, so wherever the file is stored, that particular addresses are kept in the index block of particular directory. Okay, and this is the architecture of indexed allocation. So these are the three types of disk allocation of files. Okay, in the contiguous allocation, linked allocation, as well as indexed allocation. Thank you.